Have you ever stopped to think about this silent microscopic war that's happening inside your body, like right this second? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on your own personal fortress, this amazing multi-layered defense system that's working around the clock to keep you alive. So let's dive in and see how this fortress actually works.
I mean, think about it. Every single day, you're getting hit with all sorts of invisible enemies. But your body, it doesn't just sit there and take it. Oh no, it has this super sophisticated, really vigilant army that's constantly on patrol, ready to identify, target, and just destroy these threats. The big question is, how in the world does it actually pull this off?
All right, so to really get how the defense works, we've got to start with the attack, right? First things first, let's identify the common enemies our bodies are built to fight off every single day.
So, what's the official name for these little invaders? Well, we call them pathogens. And it's a pretty broad term, really. It's basically any agent, could be a bacterium, a virus, you name it, that has the potential to make you sick. And this rogues gallery of pathogens is pretty varied. You've got your four main types here. We're talking about stuff you've definitely heard of, like the bacteria that cause strep throat, or the viruses that give you the common cold. But it also includes more complex things like certain fungi and protozoa. Okay, so how does this fortress of yours keep all those invaders out to begin with? Well, like any good fortress, it all starts with some high, really tough outer walls. This is your first and honestly your simplest line of defense. And what's so cool is how brilliantly simple these walls are. I mean, your skin, as long as it's not broken, is a fantastic physical shield. Then on the inside, you've got mucous membranes that literally trap invaders. You have tiny hairs and cilia. Think of them like microscopic brooms that are just constantly sweeping stuff away. And get this, even your tears and saliva are part of the team, physically washing microbes away before they even get a chance to settle in. But, of course, no fortress is perfect, right? A simple cut, a scrape, or even just breathing in the wrong place at the wrong time, that can be enough for a pathogen to slip past those outer walls. And when that happens, that's when the second line of defense kicks into gear. So, this second line is what we call your innate defense system. And you can pretty much think of it as a general alarm that starts blaring the second a breach is detected. It's super fast, it's not picky about what it attacks, it's nonspecific, and its whole job is to contain any invader immediately. Now, you might be wondering, how does this internal army even get around? Well, that's where the lymphatic system comes in. It's this absolutely crucial network of vessels that basically acts as an internal highway, moving immune cells all over the body to wherever an invasion is happening. And this system is so incredibly organized. Here's how it works. Fluid seeps into these tiny capillaries. Then it gets pushed along until it's filtered through these little command centers called lymph nodes. That's where the bad guys, the pathogens, get dealt with. And once the fluid is clean, it eventually just returns to your bloodstream. It's like a 24/7 surveillance and cleaning system, making sure nothing harmful sticks around for too long. One of the most obvious signs of this general alarm going off is inflammation. We've all been there, right? You get a cut and it gets red, swollen, warm, maybe a little painful. Well, turns out those aren't just annoying side effects. They're actually clear signs that your innate immune system is on the job and working hard. And each one of those signs has a very specific job. That redness and heat, that's from more blood rushing to the area, basically bringing in reinforcements, all those immune cells. The swelling, that's because the blood vessels get a little leaky on purpose, so those cells can get out into the tissue where the fight is. And the pain? Well, that's just your body's way of saying, hey, take it easy on this spot while we fix things. And it's not just about inflammation. This innate response has other tricks up its sleeve. It can raise your whole body temperature with a fever, which makes it a really tough environment for microbes to multiply. And it unleashes these amazing cells called phagocytes. They're like the Pac-Man of your immune system, literally going around and gobbling up any invaders they find. But what happens if that general alarm and the first responders just aren't enough to stop the invasion? Well, that's when your body does something truly amazing. It calls in the special forces, your third line of defense, the adaptive immune system. And the stars of this particular show are two elite types of cells called lymphocytes, T cells and B cells. Think of T cells as the commandos, the foot soldiers. They mature in a place called the thymus, and their job is to attack infected cells directly, face to face. B cells, on the other hand, are more like the weapons factories. They mature in your bone marrow and they crank out these specialized proteins called antibodies that are designed to find and neutralize specific threats. Now, this isn't just a chaotic free-for-all. It's more like a highly coordinated military operation. It goes something like this. A scout cell finds the enemy and presents a piece of it to a commander T cell. That commander then gives the order for the other T cells to go on the attack, while also telling the B cells, okay, time to start building the specific weapons we need. It's this beautiful, super efficient chain of command.
And these antibodies, you'll also hear them called immunoglobulins, these are the precision-guided missiles of your immune system. Now, there are 5 main classes, but as you can see, the vast majority, a whopping 80%, are what we call IgG antibodies. These are the real workhorses of the system, protecting you from all sorts of bacteria and viruses that are floating around in your blood.
Okay, but here is where the adaptive system goes from being just impressive to being mind-blowingly cool. It doesn't just fight the battle that's happening right now. Oh no, it prepares for all future wars against that same enemy. How? It has a memory.
And the difference is just dramatic. Look at this. The first time your body sees a new pathogen, that's the primary response. The reaction is kind of slow and not super strong. But the second time it sees that same enemy, whoa, the response is incredibly fast, way more powerful, and lasts much longer. Your body doesn't just fight, it learns, it remembers. And this memory is the exact reason why you usually only get something like chickenpox once in your life. Your body remembers it and is ready for it forever. It's also the exact same principle that makes vaccines so incredibly effective. A vaccine just introduces your body to a safe, harmless piece of a pathogen so it can build up that powerful memory without you ever having to actually get sick in the first place. So if we boil it all down, there are basically 4 main ways we can get immunity. You've got active immunity, which is where your body does all the work. You can get that naturally by actually getting sick, or you can get it artificially through a vaccine. Then there's passive immunity. This is where you're just given the antibodies directly. Think of a baby getting them from its mother, or a patient getting a special injection. It's a great shortcut, but the catch is, it's only temporary. And all of this really brings us to one final, pretty amazing thought. Your immune system isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a learning machine. It can identify an enemy, remember it, and be ready to defeat it for your entire lifetime. So that leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? As we look to the future of medicine, how can we keep finding new ways to harness this incredible built-in intelligence to keep us all healthier?